Here is some tasting notes and some information for the Oban Little Bay. So the Oban distillery is located on the west coast of Scotland. So beautiful distillery itself, great big stone and kind of white grouting, very, very attractive looking distillery. It's right next to the port, so there is a beautiful port there where a lot of cargo ships and transportation coming in. Not a big port, it's quite a small little one. But that's where they get their name from. So the word Oban in Gaelic means little bay. So in fact, this whiskey is called Little Bay, Little Bay. So anyway, so they've got a fantastic distillery there. They make some brilliant whiskey. This one in particular, the idea was they used a number of refill casks, being European oak as well as American oak. So casks that had maybe been used once or twice before, so it didn't have an immense amount of flavor being pushed into the whiskey initially. They also used some refill barrels that they'd actually put new heads in. So it was, some of it was new oak, some of it was a little bit older. So a kind of interesting combination. But the key was when they finished this whiskey off, they put it into quarter casks. So the quarter casks, basically quarter of the size of a normal barrel. So a lot more wood interaction, a lot more flavor being infused into the whiskey in a much shorter period of time generally. So this is the result that they came up with. If you have a look at it, nice bright gold color, really attractive looking whiskey. If you have a go on the nose, quite interesting because you're going to get like apricots, maybe some dried plum. You're looking for like almost I'd say like a honey note, maybe with like a background of figs too. So really pleasant, like quite rich, more of those kind of stewed fruit aromas. And you might pick up a little bit of that oak coming through, as well as like a faint malty nose on it too. So really, really pleasant on the nose. If you have a taste of that, that's where it starts getting interesting, because you're getting stuff like green apples, so that like bright kind of green apple and citrus up at the front, but quite quickly after that, you're going to start suddenly picking up that sea salt. And then maybe even a little bit of like a milk chocolate as it starts to develop. I really like the finish on this whiskey, because it suddenly starts to blossom with a little bit more warming kind of spice. So ginger, maybe a little bit of cardamom stuff coming through too. But the really interesting thing is on the finish of this is I get like almost a black tea. So you get that kind of tannin with that black tea, maybe hints of that smokiness coming through as well. So a really, really interesting dram, something a little bit different from their standard offering. And I hope you enjoy the Oban Little Bay.